They're both in the Champions League and both Premier League contenders. The gap between Spurs and Arsenal is indiscernible. But just 3 years ago, it was cavernous. Arsenal were unbeaten in 21 against Spurs until a momentous Carling Cup clash.
This, one of the fiercest rivalries in football. What a start! And the touchdown takes it in, and Tottenham find themselves 2 goals to the good. Lennon, great ball for Keane. Can he finish? Yes, he can! And it's Lennon to finish it off. Jermaine Genius, who scored the goal that set them on their way, lays on another for Malbron. Arsenal have been thrashed 5-1.
A night that marked the start of changing times in North London. Now the Harry Redknapp or Arsene Wenger has a Carling Cup win on their CV. Will one of them change that this season? We're live at White Hart Lane. It's a North London derby in the Carling Cup as Tottenham take on Arsenal, and you can see it live on Sky Sports HD2. Of course, Spurs went on to win the Carling Cup that year. They beat Chelsea in the final. It was an absolutely fantastic season for them. Interesting to judge just where this competition lies in their priorities right now, though. With me is the former Spurs midfield star Glenn Hoddle, and braving the flak to make it here this evening, the former Arsenal striker Ian Wright. Evening to you, fellas. Ian, would you accept that the gap has closed, maybe disappeared now between the two clubs?
Yeah, it has, for definite, for real. Harry's really got some great players in, some players who are looking to get into the top 4, looking to get into the Champions League, looking to actually try and win the Premiership. It is good to see Arsene Wenger's put out a half-decent team, but for me, this competition is something that we have to start looking about winning Arsenal.
It's a bit like my dad's bigger than yours in the playground, isn't it, Glenn? But have Spurs got the potential to go on and be the bigger of the two clubs?
Well, that remains to be seen over the next coming years.
I don't think so.
You know, Ian's going to say that. I think that's a longer picture for them. But I think at this moment in time, the balance is readdressed, and football changes so quickly. And it's interesting that I think Arsene has got the Carling Cup more on his mind as a priority than Harry, which, the last few seasons, Spurs have won a trophy and Arsenal haven't. And it's 5 years since they've won it. And I think, the team he's put out tonight suggests he wants to still put some experience in there with some youngsters, but that is a much stronger team than he would have put out in the last 3 or 4 seasons.
You disappointed that Arsene Wenger hasn't treated this competition more seriously in the past, Ian?
Well, especially if you come to White Hart Lane last season and they beat us so convincingly like they did. The Arsenal fans, they don't come here to watch to get beat over and turned over by Spurs 5-1. Of course, they're going to support whoever's playing in an Arsenal shirt. But this means a lot to these people. It might not mean the same to the players in the dressing room, but the fans, they don't want to lose 5-1 to Spurs. And I'm pleased that he's starting to put out stronger teams. I don't think we're in a position where we can half-ass this competition. We've got to go for it.
Also on that point as well, for me, there comes a time you're playing against your arch rivals away from home. And for me, if he wants the youngsters to gain experience at Arsenal, which he does, now win the game with your strongest team, go to the final and play your youngsters in the final. That would have been a magnificent way of giving them young boys against, be it Chelsea as well. That would have been a real challenge for them. So I think that was a bit of and I think he's learned from that.
The teams are certainly interesting this evening, no doubt about that. Let's hear from both managers, starting with Arsene Wenger, with Andy Burton.
Arsene, can you just explain to us why you chose to accept your touchline ban for today rather than delay it any longer?
It was a good opportunity.
That's all?
That's all.
Why a better opportunity than the West Brom game?
Well, the cricket's out of the way, the better it is.
Nothing to do with your priorities and where this competition lies then?
No, I believe that, it's... I'm here. I'm in the dressing room and we prepare well and we focus to win the game. That's all we can do.
In terms of the team you've named today, would you concede that it's a little bit stronger than we're used to seeing from your club in the Carling Cup?
Well, I had decided a long time before, during this week, to keep the team together and as well to play some young players. But we have some players who need competition, who have experience, and that's the game is strong enough to do that. We play Tottenham, We have many fans who come here, and we want, of course, respect the competition, but as well respect the fans who come here and watch a game. So I believe Tottenham did the same. There's a good mixture on both sides with experienced players.
Harry, just talk us through the headline changes to your team today. You've got a good mix of youth and experience, it looks like.
Well, I needed to give the lads a game who hadn't played, you know, so there's a lot of experience here. I mean, there's eight international players here. I think 5 probably played in the World Cup this year, so, and plus young Stephen Corker's coming in for his debut, and Jake Livermore, who's trained fantastic, and, you know, we've got big hopes for Jake. I like him. He's a real good player, in my opinion, so it's a chance to play him tonight. Cole Norton comes in as well, who, you know, we bought from Sheffield United, and we hope he's got a big future, so looking forward to seeing them play.
A quick word on Arsenal's team. They play the kids in this competition, apparently. They've not done that today, have they?
No, they look strong. It looks a strong team. But it'll make for a good game, I'm sure, you know, so we're looking forward to it.
I think those team lineups tell their own story. Good luck tonight, Harry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's a bit of a turnaround, Glenn, isn't it? Because on paper, at least, Arsenal look to have the stronger, more experienced side out.
They do, without any shadow of a doubt. And the way Harry looked there, looking at their team, it sounds like Arsene Renade on a phone call last night. So, no, it's good to see it, and that shows you the balance that we're talking about earlier on at the top of the show. It's coming back round to Tottenham, and it's getting, you know, not to Tottenham, but the balance is equal now, and it's getting there. Because there's a lot of players on Spurs' bench. If you look at the Spurs bench as well, we haven't seen that yet. There's a real strength and depth to Spurs' squad, equal to Arsenal's, I think, overall, in experience and internationals.
I tell you what, when the Arsenal players have looked at that team, you know, I know Harry says there are 8 internationals in there, but I think there are 3 debutants and another with just a few minutes of first-team football. The Arsenal players are going to get a real boost from it, aren't they?
Well, to be honest, you like to think that, you know, the derby itself will give them a real boost in itself. There's enough players in that Arsenal team for me to worry. Like Glenn said, I think he thought he was going to play a lot of weaker side, but I'm really pleased that he's playing a side that's going to go out here and really have a go at Spurs. You know, I don't want to lose to Spurs like we did the last time. I want players who are experienced enough to know what this means to people.
I take it you're not too surprised that Arsene Wenger decided to take his ban this evening in.
I love that. What did they expect him to say? I'll take one of the Champions League.
Well, of course, Tottenham fans have been saddened this weekend by the death of literally one of their great number 9s, Bobby Smith, who passed away. He was barrel-chested and forceful and a brilliant goal scorer. And if you look at his record, 317 games and 208 goals. He had an absolutely fabulous goal-scoring record. He got 33 of those in the double-winning season under Bill Nicholson, and he scored his successive FA Cup final victories. He went on to win 15 caps for England and scored 13 goals in doing so. You know, legend is an overused term, but correctly applied to Bobby Smith. Glenn, real legend in Tottenham terms. What do you remember about him?
Yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting him on a couple of occasions, and he was a typical a gentle giant, really, off the pitch. On the pitch, he was a beast. He really was a fabulous player, and that goal-scoring record it sits up there with anybody, and international as well. But he was such a lovely guy off the pitch as well. And a great shame for his family, feel for his family, obviously, and every Spurs fan here tonight will have a tear.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to meet him and chat to him, and you can see that in our reflections of Tottenham's double-winning team with Bobby Smith, Cliff Jones, and Terry Dyson. It's on Sky Sports 1 this evening at 10:30. OK, just about ready to get things underway. Ian, it's time to get your tin hat on, I think. Keep your head down. OK. Arsenal, then, visiting White Hart Lane to take on Tottenham in the Carling Cup. Our commentators this evening, hoping to enjoy another terrific contest between these two, are Alan Smith and Alan Parry.
Thanks, Jeff. This competition has provided plenty of success for both clubs and plenty of opportunities for players to launch their careers. There are 4 debutants in Tottenham's lineup tonight. Goalkeeper Stipe Petikosa is an experienced international for Croatia, but defender Stephen Kolka and midfielder Jake Livermore are both fresh out of the Spurs academy, while Brazilian Sandro gets his first taste of English football. Kyle Norton and David Bentley both play for the first time this season in a Spurs team showing 10 changes from Saturday's Premier League game against Wigan. Benoit Asuikoto, the odd man in. Arsene Wenger's banned from the touchline tonight, but he still picked the team, and it is stronger than most people expected. Plenty of top-level experience, unlike the youthful lineups he normally fields in this competition. However, there are still 9 changes from the starting 11 at Sunderland on Saturday. Only Laurent Koscielny and Jack Wilshere have figured in both selections. Midfielder Henry Lansbury, the only player with limited experience at this level. Both managers are keeping their big guns in reserve, with the likes of Lennon, Keane, Huddleston and Jenas on the Tottenham bench, Clichy, Arshavin and Shamak among the Arsenal subs. Well, some of the faces on view may be unfamiliar, but the newcomers will be fully aware of the rivalry between these clubs. Historically, Arsenal have the upper hand in North London derbies, but Tottenham's record against them has improved dramatically in recent times, with just 1 defeat in the last 6 meetings. The last time they met in this competition, Spurs beat Arsenal 5-1, their biggest victory over their fierce rivals for 25 years. They both finished in the top 4 of the Premier League last season, and Tottenham believe they've narrowed the gap between themselves and the old enemy. Well, now, here tonight is the time to prove it. Kick-off at a noisy White Hart Lane, moments away.
Well, Arsenal have not won the League Cup since 1993. If they do so this season, they'll have to overcome their arch rivals, Tottenham Hotspur. It is live on Sky Sports HD2 from White Hart Lane this evening. Well, as we mentioned, Bobby Smith, great number 9, passed away on Friday. Some of the Tottenham greats are here this evening. And to mark the occasion, in celebration of Bobby Smith's life, there will be 1 minute's applause here at White Hart Lane. And wasn't it uplifting to see the Arsenal fans joining in with that 1 minute's applause in recognition of the great Bobby Smith. On to the night's action then. It's Carling Cup round 3. It's Tottenham against Arsenal. Our commentators Alan Smith and Alan Parry.
Well, Bobby was a welcome and regular visitor at Tottenham's home games in recent years. He'll be sadly missed by all who knew him. It's the 3rd time in the last 5 seasons that these 2 great rivals have clashed in the League Cup, and Arsenal are looking for revenge for their 5-1 mauling here in the semi-final 2 years ago. And remember, the tie has to be settled tonight. Extra time and penalties scheduled if needed. And these 2 are among the most successful clubs in League Cup history, with no fewer than 13 finals between them.
I just wonder whether the stronger Arsenal team announces a bit of a sea change by Arsene Wenger for this competition, or whether it's just the fact it's Tottenham Hotspur and the fact he certainly does not want any repeat of that 5-1 result a couple of seasons back. I suspect it might be the latter.
Wenger choosing not to contest his FA misconduct charge. He admitted to it, and therefore he's banned from the touchline tonight. Early touch for Fabianski, who the last time he played here at Tottenham conceded 5 goals in that semi-final I mentioned.
Not
Big
a good
test
start.
of his character.
Not a good start, just kicked it out of touch. He was aiming for Henry Lansbury, who was taking up a position on the right-hand side of midfield, quite wide.
And in the opposite goal, Stipe Pletikosa, very experienced goalkeeper, capped over 80 times by Croatia, but he hasn't played at club level for very nearly a year now. He's been out with a cruciate injury. Here's Bentley, another eager to seize the opportunity given to him tonight. Pretty much on the fringe of things. He's been out with an injury as well.
Yeah, starting on the left-hand side rather than the right, where he normally lines up with Giovanni on the right, for the moment at least. I wouldn't be surprised if they do swap at some point.
Settled quickly. Norton getting it forward. They've got two in the box, including Giovanni, the Mexican international. Well, a typical derby match challenge, but the referee, who tonight is Lee Probert, saw nothing wrong with it.
Well, there's a lot of lads out here who haven't experienced a North London derby, but that have been told about it in the run-up to tonight, and the atmosphere within the stadium tells them it's just something that's a little bit different to the normal occasion. This
Rosicky, who's captaining the Arsenal side tonight. They do have a terrific record in this competition in recent years. Arsenal have reached at least the quarter-final stage in each of the last 7 campaigns, and that run includes 3 semi-finals and 1 final. In the middle of the field for Tottenham, Jake Livermore, the 20-year-old. Bentley. Surikoto, the only man who played at the weekend against Wolves here. Bentley seeing a lot of the ball early on, couldn't pick out Pavlyuchenko, who came off the bench and scored in that Premier League fixture. Kind of a handball there. Referee again says play on. Surikoto over the top for Palacios. There's a Boué for Arsenal. And Wilshere, who normally would be regarded as one of those youngsters given an opportunity in this competition, but is now, I guess, an established first-teamer. Lansbury picking out Nasri. Surikoto stayed very calm.
There's a strong bit of play by Arsenal down that right-hand side, beginning with Jack Wilshere.
Danielson. Brazilian was injured at the start of the season. He hasn't had too many first-team chances. Wilshere here has started 6 of Arsenal's 7 games so far. Danielson on to Vela.
He's just got to adjust his game a little bit tonight, Carlos Vela. Leading the line on his own. He needs to try and keep high up the pitch if he possibly can. Make himself available to his teammates. He's got 3 goals already. He's a brilliant finisher.
And it's his first experience of a North London derby. Spurs beat Arsenal 2-1 here in the Premier League last season, and they've lost only 1 of the last 6 meetings against their neighbours, home and away. That game here at the Lane, memorable for that cracking goal by Danny Rose, a pretty unknown name at the time, and a goal he'll never forget. Sandro has given it away. Nasri. Giovanni's challenge wins it back for Tottenham. Surikoto finding the outlet through Giovanni. Good vision from the Mexican, whose career at Tottenham has been interrupted by injuries. There's Livermore again. Made his debut against Stoke last season.
It looks like a player that wants to be on the ball. He's been demanding it. He's had quite a few touches already, Jack Livermore. Here's another one.
He's got Pavlyuchenko in the centre. Couldn't pick him out this time. Kieran Gibbs for Arsenal. Only his 2nd game of the season as well. Although, of course, he has played for the full England team against Hungary. Danielson. Wilshere moves it on quickly. Vela, Rosicky. And Vela goes down, clutching his face. Surikoto. Bentley. Hemmed in by Boué here. Bentley again. It's a terrific ball if Norton can catch it, and he is quick. As Chenry intercepts. Rosicky for Arsenal. Vela back on his feet and back in the centre for Arsenal. Wilshere gets it back from Rosicky. Now there is a free kick.
Yeah, not much time to dwell inside that Middle of the park there, Sandro's found that out. He's got very little time to pick his options, to settle on the ball.
Lansbury. This is the young man, Stephen Colker. He's just 18. Suikoto wins it back for Spurs. Turned back by Basson, who wears the captain's armband for Spurs this evening. Even though it's only his second appearance of the season, he played here in the Champions League qualifier against young boys from Switzerland. Gibbs. Wilshere spots the run from Abdoué down the right. Unfortunate moment to tread on the ball. Danielson. Wilshere.
No surprise, they're seeing plenty of the ball, this Arsenal team. Whether it's the second string or the first choice, everybody comfortable in possession.
Gibbs. Just the two in the box at the moment for Arsenal, Lansbury and Vela. And the referee's given a goal kick. Not in the mood to give away many free kicks tonight, Mr. Probert.
Drifted right across from that right-hand flank. Henry Lansbury to try and get involved.
Certainly a much more experienced Arsenal side than is the norm in this competition. I remember a couple of years ago they beat Sheffield United 6-0 at this stage, with the youngest team Arsenal have ever fielded. Average age was 19.
He has been quite dismissive of the competition. Towards the end of the season he was. Asking whether it is success if you lift this trophy. I think the fans would feel that it is. For the day at Wembley, good competition.
Especially when you haven't won a trophy of any kind for 5 years now. Suikoto spots the run from Pavlyuchenko. Now Giroud with a rather clumsy challenge.
Yeah, just got himself into an awkward position there, Giroud. It's a decent run from Pavlyuchenko, but he's quite canny. He feels the contact and goes down. He wasn't really going anywhere, the Russian. This is a good chance for David Bentley to swing one in with his right peg.
Giroud bound to be a bit rusty. It's his first start for 16 months after a serious knee injury. To take it. Normally an accurate deliverer here, but on this occasion got his angle wrong.
Oh, just trying to give the keeper the eyes, I think, shaping up to cross it and then going for goal, hoping that Fabianski was just going to edge across and leave the gap. It's worth testing the Arsenal keeper, given the mistakes that he has made when he's got his chance for Arsenal.
Rosicky. Come back by Suikoto. Lansbury persistent though. And a good ball for Lansbury. Oh, that was a push by Suikoto. Well, Mr. Probert seemed to be at the right angle to have the perfect view of that. I think they were a bit fortunate there, Tottenham.
I think they were. Henry Lansbury didn't make an awful lot of it, but it looked a really clumsy challenge from the left back.
Heavy back pass to Fabianski, under pressure straight away from Livermore. Here's Norton. Come back by Vela.
A slack defending actually from Tottenham. David Bentley lets Lansbury make the run off him. And although he's running into another Tottenham player, could easily have been a pen, that one.
Mr. Probert showing a real willingness to keep the game flowing, but on that occasion might have got it wrong. Here's Danielson. And again.
They're just getting the taste of it. Arsenal at the moment, aren't they? Crisper, more incisive passing from the away team. Just explaining why he didn't give it. As I say, he gets caught alongside Asuakoto and the arm comes out. There's a shove in the back. No doubt about that.
Tangle of legs as well. Giroud. Rosicki. Gibbs forward on the overlap. Infield to Wilshere. Johan Giroud again, the Swiss international. Rosicki. Now Gibbs. Play for Arsenal. We've been finalists 6 times, winners twice in this competition, both in the George Graham era. We got to the quarter-final last season, lost 3-0 at Manchester City.
I remember the first time we won it in '87, and that acted as a springboard to go on and challenge consistently. Won a couple of league titles not long after. I was involved in it. Just goes to show winning silverware of any type is a really good habit.
Livermore. Loose, straight to Lansbury. Ambitious from him.
It was ambitious, but it's been a good opening spell from Arsenal. They've been the better team. And they've got the passing going quicker than Tottenham.
Great atmosphere, as you'd expect from a crowd of over 30,000 here. Pavlyuchenko. Asuakoto again, given away to Obue. Wilshere. Vela. Now Danielson. Here's Obue for Arsenal. It was a good spot by him. Gibbs moves it on to Rosicki. Wilshere with a dangerous cross, and it's been turned in by Lansbury. What a start for Arsenal. Less than a quarter of an hour gone, and Henry Lansbury scores. His first ever goal as an Arsenal player. What a place to get it.
He won't forget that, will he? A sweet move, began by a driving run from Jack Wilshere, and it's a great cross from the 18-year-old that creates the goal. The simplest of goals from Henry Lansbury, who continues his run. Look at Tottenham's back line, completely static, to give the youngster a wonderful memory, first memory of White Hart Lane. They put together some really smooth moves in this opening 15-minute spell.
Henry Lansbury spent most of last season on loan at Watford. He was in the Arsenal side that won the FA Youth Cup last year. Only half a dozen first-team opportunities he's had. He seized this particular one with both hands and one trusty right foot. Vela, 1-0 to the Arsenal, the familiar cry from those inside White Hart Lane in the red and white. Lansbury again, Obue. Bentley's clearance has gone straight to Gibbs. Arsenal on the front foot as ever. Wilshere, Vela. Now Rosicki. Most of this opening period has been played inside the Tottenham half.
Yeah, really confident start. As if this Arsenal team mean business here.
Gibbs. Into Nasri. Here's Rosicki. Just flows from one red shirt to another. Obue. Even time for a back heeler at this stage. Danielson. Wilshere is slotted perfectly into this Arsenal side.
It's that extra little bit of experience, isn't it, in the middle of the park when you think of Sandro and Jake Livermore coming to terms with first-team football out here. And they're showing at the moment. Arsenal passing it around them.
Well, it's another one of those 20-plus Arsenal moves in the making here. Nasri slips and still keeps possession. Then he was fouled by Livermore. Gibbs. Vela. And he's been brought down by Kolka, the 18-year-old. Arsenal don't waste much time with free kicks. They like to keep the ball moving.
Yeah, it's perpetual motion, isn't it, at the moment? Tottenham chasing shadows, having to work really hard just to contain this Arsenal team.
Finally, Spurs get it back. Sandro. There's Carl Norton. Long for Pavlyuchenko, too long though. Arsenal unbeaten in 6 games this season, 4 wins, 2 draws, now 21 goals in the process. Is this the campaign that finally ends their search for a trophy again? They haven't won one since the FA Cup in 2005. Their longest spell without success for 25 years. Zone again.
Yeah, just a bit slack, isn't it, from Spurs on the heels? Just that little cameo, Lansbury able to receive it from the throw-in. This is the teasing cross from Jack Wilshere. Pleticosa hasn't even got a touch yet. His first one, he's picking the ball out the net. But what a start for Arsenal, and particularly Henry Lansbury. That's the reward you get for gambling. Neil Banfield next to Arsene Wenger. And it was all about Henry Lansbury having worked with him through the age groups.
Giovanni caught offside then. The Nielsen. Rosicki. It's just a red tide towards the Tottenham goal at the moment. Bella. Abue. It's lovely football. Spurs need some relief. Perhaps Bentley can provide it here. Pavlyuchenko peels away. Well, easy for me up here, but perhaps he should have played the Russian international in.
Well, he's got himself into a really good position, hasn't he? It's Tottenham's best moment. Poor defending from Johan Djuru, who just commits himself far too easily, gets beaten. And once he's got to this, he's got a choice. Does he look to his right where Pavlyuchenko is in space? It's a waste.
Norton wins it back, but only briefly. Wilshere. Gibbs. Crunching tackle then on Wilshere. And a yellow card for Livermore.
I think there's a feeling within that Tottenham team, and probably coming off the bench as well from Harry Redknapp and his staff, that they need to get in amongst the Arsenal midfielders and try and stem the flow, stop the rhythm. Jack Livermore trying to do that.
Got to be extra careful now. Not entirely sure Kolka wanted that back from Pleticosa. Now the Croat goalkeeper launches it. Suricato, no chance of reaching that. Wilshere. Gibbs. Only the excellence of Guy Clichy keeping him from earning a regular place at left back in this Arsenal team. Rosicki. Is Djuru. Wilshere. Oh, he was caught as he played it away. It's another free kick.
Got a couple of whacks, hasn't it, Jack Wilshere, in the space of a couple of minutes. First from Livermore, now from Sandro. Desperately trying to get involved in the game, the Brazilian. It's been tough for him.
He's a spiky character, and he might need to be against the Brazilian, who has won one full cap for his country. Nielsen to take this one. Well, to call that optimistic is an understatement.
Well, they haven't had much to shout about, have they, Tottenham? This was about it. The crowd on the feet, hoping for something better than this. A little bit excited there, David Bentley, having beaten Giroud.
Former Arsenal player, of course, although he only made 9 appearances in the first team. Sandro. Here's Norton, the former Sheffield United player, England under-21 international.
They're just finding it really difficult, Tottenham, to find any kind of a passing rhythm, because Arsenal chasing them down every time they try and settle on it, Spurs.
Difficult one for Harry Redknapp, who was in charge of his 100th game as Tottenham manager on Saturday when they beat Wolves 3-1. They were bottom of the Premier League when he took over just 2 years ago. What an amazing transformation he's brought about. Nielsen, Wilshere. That was a late challenge by Norton. The referee saw it and waved play on. Rosicky. Cleverly done by Rosicky. Didn't quite pull it back to where he wanted.
Well, it's men against boys at the moment in terms of ability and technique. Certainly goal threat. Arsenal well ahead.
Tottenham just can't get the ball. Nielsen. Wilshere. And he's been fouled again. He really is the target.
3 in a row, isn't it? I mean, Palacios is playing in a position whereby it looks like he's been assigned to keep an eye on Jack Wilshere. Look at him, he keeps glancing across at the youngsters to his position. But 3 have had a go at Wilshere now. None have succeeded in stopping him. Fairly, anyway.
He's eager to gain possession again. Now Doué. On the outside for Lansbury, who's certainly taking up some intelligent positions. Suikoto forgotten about the ball there. Now Doué relieves him with possession. Wilshere. Rosicky. Just finding them in from all angles, and the goalkeeper got a touch on that corner.
Well, everyone fancies a crack. Whole lot of confidence going through this Arsenal side. He's just been a bystander. That was his first real piece of action. He got a deflection before it came to him.
Well, Giroud making his way forward, as Chelney's there as well. And the two centre-backs got in each other's way in the end. There's just no relief for Spurs. Gibbs wins it back again. Lansbury. Wilshere. Pumping tackle from Sandro, but every time they clear the ball, Tottenham, it goes to a red shirt. Wilshere. Now, can they profit from a rare Arsenal mistake when in possession? Palacios, that's a good ball. Pavlyuchenko. Chance to hit it.
No, it's not a bad chance, is it? They just got caught in possession and on the counter-attack. They've lost the shape, Arsenal. Gives them a little bit of space, Tottenham, for the first time in this match.
He's got a great record in this competition, 7 goals in 8 ties. Bentley. Little nudge from Abue, but the referee says play on, and Lansbury does just that. Now Gibbs. Wilshere. Vela gets it back to Wilshere, but the flag has gone up offside. Breather for the Tottenham players.
He's running the show, Jack Wilshere. He's absolutely running the show at the moment. His awareness of players around him, his touch is superb, and how close is that? A little unlucky to be flagged.
His first North London derby at the age of 18. Is he overwhelmed by it? Is he happy? Liverpool. Bentley. And it's a free kick for Tottenham. Ironic cheers from the fans who feel they haven't had the benefit of too many decisions from Lee Probert yet. Livermore. Oh, it hit Pavlyuchenko on the heel. Gibbs. Rosicki. Pavlyuchenko's gone out wide to the right here. So that only leaves Giovanni in the middle. Well, I think that was meant to be a cross, but it almost turned out to be a decent effort.
Yeah, I think it was an attempted cross. They've been desperately trying to gain some kind of a foothold in this match, Tottenham.
Just 18, Kolka. Awkward header by Bassong, and Kolka calmly heads it back. Huge clearance by the goalkeeper, straight to his opposite number though. Arsenal have failed to win any of their last 3 visits to White Hart Lane, and they've only won 2 of the last 13 here, but they're threatening to change that statistic tonight.
It's during periods like this where you really want to get that second goal. Put some proper daylight between yourselves and your opponents.
Gibbs. Bella's layoff. Rosicki, first time. Unlucky. The Nielsen. Bue. There's always an option. This time Nasri. Moved the ball so quickly and so accurately.
They just look a lot more comfortable with the system that they're playing. It's a system that they're well versed in, and Spurs have played this way, of course, plenty of times, but with the new lads in the middle of the park, they're finding it difficult to settle down and get the passing going.
Bentley with a chance to do that. Suikoto. Neatly done by Bentley, but Abue wise to it. Now Livermore. Just too far ahead of Sandro. Still got a toe to it though. Norton. Palacios gets into a good position in the box. And now Bentley is offside.
Well, signs that Tottenham are settling down, making a little bit more of a nuisance of themselves, playing a bit of football in the attacking third.
Well, we've got a few injuries, both of these teams, and a few stars sitting it out tonight. But there's no doubt that the replacements, if you can call them that, for Arsenal are faring rather better than their opponents so far. huge list of injuries, of course. Van Persie, Walcott, Fabregas, Vermaelen, Bentner. Alex Song is suspended tonight. Giovanni, who's seen so little of the ball. And you could say that about a few of his teammates.
Yeah, I think they wanted to use him as the spare man coming in from the flank and trying to gain a bit of space to support Pavlyuchenko, but it just hasn't worked so far.
And Nielsen plays one into the space for Gibbs. Kolka with the clearance. Livermore. Much of a sighting of the ball. Fabianski. Isn't the best clearance from him though. Straight to Kyle Norton. There's Sandro. Big rangy Brazilian has to push the referee out of the way. Suikoto, Livermore. And this is a little better from Tottenham. Can they keep it going? Sandro, who Harry Redknapp has likened to Socrates, the great Brazilian player of the 70s, 80s. Bentley. Decent cross.
Well, not too many in the box. Palacios had tried to get there. Pavlyuchenko really the only goal threat.
Lansbury. Basson. Well, the consolation for Spurs at the moment is that they're only 1-0 down. And they are starting to get a foothold. Palacios. Pavlyuchenko.
Now passing it better in these areas. You get the feeling at the moment though Arsenal are happy for them to do it as long as it stays around the halfway line.
Livermore. Giovanni. Onto Bentley. Giovanni crosses first time. Pavlyuchenko's header. Here come Arsenal again. Rosicki. Gibbs. Wilshere. Lansbury along the ground to Samir Nasri. Wilshere. Nasri turns away from Basson. Nielsen looks so congested, but they're just threading their way through.
Nightmare for opponents once they get the ball. Arsenal, it's another 5 minutes until you get it back, by which time you've had to work really hard and you might just be feeling it a bit, but they've got to settle again when they do get the ball, Tottenham, and try and be constructive with it.
Rosicki's made a great run to the area, but the layoff finds Nielsen instead. Well, it's been breathless stuff this first 35 minutes from the visitors. And you can't afford to give it away like that. Nasri. Vela inside the penalty area. With the ball outside. It's Arsenal's throw.
It's a good run from the Mexican. Clever one.
Vela. Wanting to get it back from Nasri. Livermore did well. Wilshere can tackle as well as pass the ball, though.
Great bit of pace as well to get back. Goal side from Jack Wilshere. Another yellow card.
Pavlyuchenko.
He wasn't happy with the original challenge. Roman Pavlyuchenko. Giroud suffers for it.
There's Nasri. There's Chelney. Gibbs. He's strong enough to win it back. Then a little clash, shall we say, with Palacios, but it's come to Rosicky. Lovely ball again. Nielsen just beaten to it this time. Livermore. Arsenal looking so much sharper. Rosicky.
Some tasty old challenges in the middle of the park there. Really have.
Nasri. Wilshere. He's really making things happen, and that's a lovely ball for Gibbs, who's offside.
It was through the eye of the needle, wasn't it, from Jack Wilshere? Another glorious pass, yeah. He might have been offside. Well, he wasn't. The linesman flagged him. What a lovely through ball from Jack Wilshere, who's hardly put a foot wrong. And continues to really dictate Arsenal's tempo. Amazing for an 18-year-old.
Arsene Wenger has been saying for some time now that if the fans remain patient, the future is bright. And when you see a display like this from some of the younger players, you can see exactly what he means. Suikoto. This is Norton. Palacios. Pass on. Suikoto goes for the early cross, but got it wrong. The holders of the Carling Cup, Manchester United, have a tricky-looking away fixture tomorrow against Scunthorpe United. You can see the game live on Sky Sports HD2 from 7:30. Arsenal fans taunting their Tottenham counterparts at the moment with a suggestion that they're not really ready for the Champions League. But they finished fourth last season. They got there on merit. One place, and about 5 points, I think it was, behind Arsenal. Foul by Sandro.
Tough baptism for him.
Referee's calling him back because he chucked the ball away.
They've tried to be aggressive and smother that Arsenal midfield before it can get started. Him, Jake Livermore. They've sailed close to the win once or twice.
Spurs haven't lost a home tie in this competition for 6 years since Liverpool beat them, and that was on penalties in the quarter-final 2004. But they've got to change things dramatically in this game to keep that record intact. Livermore wins it back off Nasri and then gives it away and wins it back again. Suikoto. Bentley. So Pato's cross could cause problems. Giroud really dived in. And then Rosicki was brought down. That could lead to a card, I think, for Norton.
Totting up the yellow cards. Tottenham, they really have got to be careful, but it's an indication of how they've been stretched. Always on the stretch to try and contain this really vibrant, sharp Arsenal team. And a joy to watch first half. This was the clean challenge, it looked to me, from Johan Giroud. Had to make it that way. Rosicki was away here.
Injury for a player who's had his fair share of them in recent times. Well, if this is Arsenal's reserve team, and remember they've made 9 changes from the weekend Premier League game against Sunderland, and they've got a whole lengthy list of players out injured, then you've got to say it's been a very impressive half.
Well, you would expect a fight back from Tottenham in the second half. 1 or 2 options for Harry Redknapp. More senior players, Robbie Keane, Aaron Lennon maybe. Give themselves some genuine width. But as you said, been a really accomplished joy to watch from Arsenal first half.
Palacios for Spurs.
I've got the feeling there's a lot more football left in this match, though. A lot more to come.
Well, maybe Harry Redknapp will be tempted to use some of his bigger names, if you like, off the bench in the second half. They've got to do something fairly drastic. Aboué. Having said all that, it's still only 1-0. Aboué. Vela. Here's Nasri. Wilshere. Danielson. Rosicki happily recovered from that knock a few moments ago. Certainly kicked the ball well, Platicoso. Picked out Pavlyuchenko then, but he was offside. Well, he's off down to the dressing room with a couple of minutes stoppage time remaining.
Well, he can get his thoughts across, but I don't think there'd be too much he needs to say to his players. Doesn't normally get that kind of a view. He loves to be down on the touchline, but it's been a good angle to watch this Arsenal team from. First 45.
And it's fair to say his absence from the touchline has not really made much difference to his team's performance here. Danielson. Gibbs. Vela. Hustled out of it, and in the end committed the foul on Giovanni. The free kick, and this will be just about Tottenham's final opportunity to try and draw level here. Norton. Livermore.
The other aspect of Arsenal's play is that they've worked really hard out of possession. As to whether they can keep that tempo up for the full 90 remains to be seen, but it's given Tottenham precious little encouragement.
we've seen 45 minutes of classic Arsenal football. Passing, movement, quality stamped on everything they've done, and in particular on the goal. Jack Wilshere has really pulled the strings in midfield, but it was one of the lesser-known names, Henry Lansbury, who was Johnny on the spot to convert a wonderful cross to give Arsenal a 1-0 lead. In truth, Tottenham are lucky to go in at half-time, trailing just by that single goal. It's Tottenham Hotspur 0, Arsenal 1.
And I tell you, someone needs to count how many players Arsenal have got on the field, because it can't just be 11. We've got the views of Ian and Glenn when we come back in a couple of minutes. It's been dizzying first 45 minutes from an Arsenal point of view, but of course at 1-0, it's by no means over yet. More Carling Cup action tomorrow evening on Sky Sports HD2. We're off to Glanford Park for Scunthorpe against Manchester United from 7:30. Tonight at White Hart Lane at half-time, Spurs 0, Arsenal 1. I'm in the company of Glenn Hoddle and Ian Wright. Ian, how impressed have you been with Arsenal so far?
Well, they've been very impressive. I was very surprised with Tottenham at the start. I thought they would have got closer to the Arsenal players because you know that they're going to be passing it about, and I think they've made it very comfortable for them. And what they've done is they've just got into their game, their passing game, and Jack Wilshere, like you say, they're like Smudger in that sense, he's running the game. Just can't get close enough to him.
Yeah, Wilshere at the heart of everything, Glenn, including the opening goal.
Yeah, he's been magnificent, the lad. And what I like about him, he's very intelligent player. You see him all night. He's been coming behind the ball to receive it, and Spurs haven't been able to get close to him. If you come as a midfield player, if you come behind the ball, it's very hard to mark you. But the moment that he actually does hurt Tottenham, watch this run. It's the only run he's made forward. He makes this little overlap. It's the only time he's got really forward in the last third, and look at the delivery that he's put in. So he's played behind the ball. You think he's comfortable, I can always see him, but suddenly he's burst in behind Tottenham's defence, and what a fantastic ball. Poor defending on the back post, I've got to say, by Tottenham.
I tell you what, Ian, we talk about Arsene Wenger not having won the Carling Cup before, but if this is going to be his Carling Cup team this season, they might have one heck of a chance.
Yeah, it's a great mixture, Jeff. There's some good experience in there. Even the Giroux and Aboué, they've got a lot of experience. Kieran Gibbs got a lot of experience. And then you've got Rosicky, you've got Velo, who played a lot of first team. So it's a good team, and like I say, they're just very comfortable. For a derby, I was expecting it to be a little bit more getting amongst Arsenal just to rattle them a bit, but they haven't done it, and Arsenal just taken their... I think
Tottenham's problem at the beginning, Ian, maybe, is there were so many youngsters playing either their first game or their second, and when you're playing in that way, you end up thinking about your own game only. Yeah. And I think Spurs have come out and they're individual at the moment, thinking about their own game, and didn't hunt them as a team together collectively.
I mean, that was one of the Arsenal acts that broke down, and this is one of the few opportunities. What did David Bentley do wrong, Ian?
Well, to be honest here, I think that if you're going to... You've got to hit the target if you're going through like that, because he's got an overlapper coming on his left there. So you've either got to make sure you hit the target so as then you can justify taking a shot from there, or you've got to slip him in so as he can put it across the face for maybe Pavlyuchenko coming in on the back stick. And I think that he maybe if he's not going to hit the target, he's made the wrong choice.
He can only win if he sticks it in the top corner.
Absolutely right.
I mean, in football's about doing the right thing at the right time. And at the end of the day, he's got an overlap, he's got an overkill, and if he slides him in, like Wilshere made an overlap and was nursed in, and they scored. If they do the same at the other end, it's an identical goal opportunity for them.
And here's the other time that Spurs got in the Arsenal half, when the ball falls to Pavlyuchenko.
Well,
I mean, it's a warning to Arsenal, isn't it?
Well, of course, you can see that they can catch them on the break. But I think, again, it's a great ball from Palacios there. And we know he's going to go in on his right foot. Now, if you're going in, you've either got to hit the target, or you've got to give it to the overlapping player so as he can get in and square it for someone to just tap it in. But he's missed the target.
Glenn, would you accept that Tottenham are fortunate it's only 1-0? Again, Wilshere's fed in, I think it was Kieran Gibbs near the end.
Yes, without a doubt. And that's the reason why the balance of the game is still there for Tottenham. But no, Arsenal have had the territorial. They've not got it tactically right, Tottenham. And that is onside without any show. Norton, as a young player, will learn from that if he sees that on the video. But if you're that far behind your back line, you can't be playing offside.
It's a fantastic run from Kieran Gibbs, because you can see the back of Norton, but he's still bent the run while he's going forward. So he's going forward to the momentum of the ball. And the linesman's totally got that one wrong. It's a fantastic run from him. We should be 2-0 up now.
Is this like Derby's U2 used to play in?
Well, no, it would have been a little bit more active than that.
Ferocious.
This is very polite stuff.
1-0 at half-time then. Tottenham fans produced the best chant of the first half. Are you Tottenham in disguise? Chanted the Tottenham fans at their team. Arsene Wenger, of course, in the stand. He'll be the happier of the two managers at half-time, no question about that. But still, all to play for. Something's got to change from a Tottenham point of view. Glenn Hoddle's been urging the arrival of Robbie Keane, and he will get his wish because Robbie Keane is going to come on in the second half for Giovanni. And more experience as well because Aaron Lennon is going to play a part in the second half as well. There he is, start of the evening on the bench, but needs must, and Jake Livermore's night is over. A quick look at some of the half-time scores. Birmingham had a good night, and some of the new boys have as well. Alexander Pleb and Nikola Zigic both on the score sheet against the MK Dons. Gary Alexander got Brentford's equaliser against Everton. No joy for Owen Coyle on his return to Turf Moor at the moment. They trail by a goal to nil. Ipswich 2-up at Millwall. Swansea 2-1 up at Peterborough. Portsmouth miserable season goes on, trailing 2-0 at home to Leicester. Danny Higginbottom got Stoke's goal against Fulham. Asamoah Gyan, the Sunderland goal scorer, an equaliser after Frederick Piquion has scored for West Ham. And it's Wolves 0, Notts County 0. The League One side doing OK at Molineux so far. Sides out, ready for the second half. What can Spurs do about Arsenal's first half superiority? Let's find out in the company of Alan Smith and Alan Pally.
Once again, Jeff, Tottenham do have a formidable home record, just one defeat in their last 19 games here in all competitions, when Wigan beat them 1-0 here in August. But with all due respect to the team that started tonight, the Tottenham team that built that record was very different in terms of personnel and performance. However, with the introduction of two of their experienced quality substitutes, Tottenham will feel that they can tip the balance again in this second half, just a goal down.
Yeah, well, obviously changes the shape to 4-4-2. I think Pavlyuchenko will be happy that he's got somebody like Robbie Keane close by to maybe feed him in. They have to do something. A long way, second best to Arsenal in that first half.
Aaron Lennon, who came on as a late substitute against Wolves at the weekend, will operate down the right as usual. David Bentley down the left. Robbie Keane obviously up top with Pavlyuchenko.
Gonna give Kieran Gibbs, Arsenal's left back, something to think about. Pretty easy for him first half.
His header. And he wins it back again. To Nielsen. To Nasri. No changes for Arsenal. Palacios wins it back. The Spurs weren't doing that often enough in that first 45. More positive start. Suikoto. Too deep for Keane. And the other substitute, Lennon, just Spurs to keep it in play.
You would expect them to up the tempo, Spurs, to be much more lively. Redknapp, I'm sure, has got in amongst his players and urged them on to better things. It's a dangerous time for Arsenal. If they don't start right, they're going to be under the cosh, and Spurs have started the brighter here.
Pavlyuchenko, Bentley's come infield, so they have no option down the left. Palacios just left his foot in. Giroud, Koscielny, Wilshere. They want to get a much tighter on him, but he still wriggles free with the ball.
I'm sure he would have figured in Harry Redknapp's team talk, Jack Wilshere, the fact that they need to get on top of him, stop him from dictating Arsenal's play.
Robbie Keane, who, as you might expect, has got an excellent scoring record in this competition. To the other sub, Lennon. Pavlyuchenko waiting far post. Lennon can't deliver though. Danielson. Much better from Tottenham. And the crowd have responded. Besson. Pavlyuchenko. Lennon. There's Kyle Norton, who had a yellow card in that first half. One of 3 Tottenham players cautioned by the referee. Keane's onside. They're back in it. And he's kept his wonderful record in the League Cup going. An inspired substitution by Harry Redknapp.
No wasn't it? Just all looking at the linesman there, because he had acres of space in the middle of Arsenal's defence. I'm not sure who it was, whether it was Emmanuel Abui, that just dropped back to play Keane onside. We'll have a better look in a minute. But what a confident finish he was. He could have easily taken it on. Well, you look across, this very linesman gave a couple of close calls against Arsenal in the first half. He could have easily flagged Robbie Keane off there, because I think he was by inches. Nevertheless, doesn't he take it well? Fabianski, yes, having got a firm hand on it, should have done better than that, because that is not a powerful shot, and that is a goalkeeping mistake.
Well, the man who conceded 5 on his last appearance on this ground. And here goes Keane again. 5 goals in his last 9 League Cup ties now. Pavlyuchenko. What a transformation.
Just the kind of start that you are looking for if you're Spurs, and you are certainly not if you're Arsenal. Within the first few minutes. Well, you look at the cut of the grass, and Robbie Keane's left foot, the left half of his body is clearly offside, but he gets the benefit, and he uses it to the max. That's the man who kept the flag down.
Stephen Child, the assistant, on this side. And more by Wilshere. Suddenly the tide is turning at White Hart Lane. Giroud clears from Lennon.
I mentioned it in the first half, they were so brilliant, Arsenal, but they didn't get that second to give themselves a little cushion, and you knew there would be a Tottenham fight back. There had to be here in front of their own fans.
But here goes Nasri. He's got Vela in support, but Spurs looking a yard sharper now than they did in the first 45 minutes.
Well, set up to be a cracking second half now.
Remember, this tie has to be settled tonight. Extra time, if needed, and penalties if that still doesn't produce a winner. Goal kick here.
I can't believe there aren't more goals in this second half. Cannot believe it will stay at 1-1.
Well, they were pretty quiet for obvious reasons in the first half. Not now. Giroud, muscled out of it by Sandro, but too much muscle according to the referee. Free kick. Koscielny. Arsenal fans remind Tottenham that they're still here.
Yeah, time to try and find that passing rhythm that they achieved so brilliant in the first half. Arsenal settle down again.
Vela.
It's not easy once you've been knocked off your stride to get back up to the same level.
Nielsen. Koscielny. The Brazilian wants it again and gets it in midfield. Lansbury. The Arsenal goal scorer finds the man of the first half, Wilshere. Rosicki gives on the overlap already. Here he is. Dangerous cross as well. And he almost won it back off Norton. Koscielny stronger than Pavlyuchenko this time. Abue. It's a good ball for Vela. Surikoto stumbled and still came out with the ball. Palacios to Sandro. Norton finds Pavlyuchenko, ironically, offside. Well, it must be a frustrating night for Arsene Wenger sitting in the stands. Andy Burton has a word about him.
Alan, you know what it's like sometimes at a football stadium when you can't get a signal on your mobile phone because so many people are here. That's the problem Arsene Wenger is suffering from at the moment. He's trying to phone down to the bench but can't get reception on his mobile phone. So one backroom staff member had to run upstairs to try and get the message relayed.
Pat Rice hasn't switched his phone on.
There's a rush challenge from Sebastian Bassong on Jack Wilshere, who cops it not for the first time. They know who the danger man is. Diving in, the central defender.
Unnecessary free kick to concede. The Arsenal fans who've made the short trip across North London behind the goal their team are attacking in this second half.
Carlos Vela has got a very capable left foot, and it's his side. It's a good, what, 25 yards out at least, but looks like he fancies it.
First goals he ever scored for Arsenal, a hat-trick in this competition against Sheffield United in this round a couple of years ago. Not on target this time, though. Keane. Bentley, good challenge from Aboué. Lansbury, Vela, has he got the pace here? Not quite, and not got the strength either to deceive Basson.
Yeah, did well, didn't he, Basson? Got his legs going very quickly there. It's all going Tottenham's way at the moment. They're winning one or two individual battles that they weren't before the break. Much better viewing for Harry Redknapp,
Who undoubtedly would have had a few strong words to say to his players at half-time.
Give it
To the final, didn't he, a couple of years ago?
Made a couple of substitutions, and certainly one of them has come off big time. Managers are paid for. And he was decisive at half-time. He knew what he wanted to do.
And his players are responding. Lennon, Keane. Nielsen slips. And it's got all the pace and passion you'd expect from a cup tie between two local rivals now. And it's fascinatingly poised. Norton. Basson. Tight for Sandro. And Nasri takes it off him. Vela, good challenge from the youngster, Polter.
Really just a little bit more weight on the ball from Sami Nasri. Cole could have been struggling.
Rosicki. Nielsen closed down by Bentley, skips round him. Given away by the Czech Republic international to Lennon. Asuri-Koto. Now it's Tottenham playing some excellent football, and Keane's got away again down the centre.
Well, I think the flag would have gone up if Robbie Keane would have touched it.
Nielsen. Nasri. Gibbs. Good running there from Samir Nasri. And he's earned the throw. Rosicki. Nasri. Well, he had to get that challenge spot on, and he did, however. He didn't get the pass accurate enough. It's really opening up now this time. Keane. Pavlyuchenko furthest forward here for Tottenham. And he's got Bentley with him. Arsenal hunting packs though.
Well, it is opening up. Arsenal just beginning to find the feet again with their passing. And then they give it away.
Commentator's curse, we've all been there.
He's found the ball a lot in some good areas though, Nasri.
Surikoto's got some space ahead of him. Bentley. Kolka. Here's Norton. And this time the flag goes up again against Pavlyuchenko.
Well, they're threatening him behind the Arsenal back line in a way that they weren't able to in the first half. Tottenham. Certainly the two Arsenal centre-halves are much busier.
Vela. Aboué. Nasri unmarked in the centre. He was a little bit self-indulgent though.
A couple of players in the middle there around the penalty spot. They did the first bit really well. Surging forward, but how many times you score from there?
An hour gone, and this North London derby on a knife edge. We've got to wait till November till they meet in the league, and then it's February before the return fixture takes place. Sandro. What he intended. Rosicki. Denilson. Rosicki knew that Gibbs would get forward like that. Oh, he really stuck at it as well, the fullback. Wilshere. Aboué. Onto Nasri. Gibbs. Cleverly done for Nasri. Rosicki now. Lansbury wants it far post. Vela behind him.
What a ball from Thomas Rosicki. Right on the spot for Vela, who you would expect to do much better than that. Nasri again popping up in a dangerous area and having trouble containing the Frenchman. Have a look at this for a little cross onto the head of Vela, who wasn't expecting it, I think. The song in front of him put him off, but that's a great chance.
He didn't like that challenge, or no, actually I think it's offside anyway. He still didn't like the challenge though by Palacios, and nor did Vela.
I think it's an area of the park, that midfield for Tottenham, that Harry Redknapp will look at. It looks like to me that Sandro, the Brazilian, is struggling next to Palacios. It's been a really high tempo. I think they might be bringing him off. Jermaine Genius warming up.
Thought I saw him just holding his hamstring earlier as well. Wants help. Kolka just took his eyes off the ball. Rosicki to Vela. And Denilson beaten in the challenge.
He did well to get back there because he's running on empty, I think, at the moment, Sandro.
They will leave Stephen Kolka. Nielsen doesn't require treatment. Surikoto quickest out. Bentley dispossessed by Danielson, who takes it on again. Nasri. Palacios with a spectacular clearance.
Well, Bentley needs to hold it in those situations in the way that he does. He's done there.
That's a lovely ball, but Giroud read it brilliantly. Aboué. Snapping into the tackles in the second half in a way they couldn't manage in the first. And that's upsetting Arsenal. And on that occasion, upsetting referee Probert, who gave the free kick and didn't like Arsenal taking it so quickly. Very clean working his socks off.
Leading from the front, isn't he? Yeah, you're right. Much more even contest, isn't it? Difficult to predict which way it's going to go, but I don't think either manager wants extra time here tonight. They're trying to win it in this 90.
They can't keep it in play. Mobile phones out. Just when you need them, they let you down. Rosicki into space for Nasri. That's on. He's got a steady game at the heart of the Tottenham defence alongside the previously untried youngster, Stephen Colker. Pretty much a regular, wasn't he, last season, but not this.
Well, it seems that William Gallas has come in and stepped ahead of him. He did well for long periods next to Michael Dawson, the song.
Lansbury. Huge problems, of course, at centre-back, haven't they? Tottenham, no Dawson, as we mentioned. Gallas is still not properly fit, according to Harry Redknapp. Woodgate, well, it's about a year since he played. Chorluka, who can play at the back, also injured.
They've done well, actually, Arsenal, having conceded that goal early on. They've come back at Tottenham now.
Rice pondering what his manager might want him to do next.
Holding the phone, Pat Rice, but maybe not receiving those messages. Or is that a piece of paper? No, I think he's thrown his phone away.
He's talking to somebody, and I don't think he's ordering the pizza for the coach right back.
Great to be as neither, I don't think.
Those are the days, eh? Sandro. Palacios. It's come off Giroud to Pavlyuchenko, Keane in the centre. Sandro arrived with a thumping challenge on Koscielny.
And they got there as quickly as he could, but it was a mistake from Johan Giroud actually trying to nip in ahead of Pavlyuchenko that allowed the Russian to get in behind and turn Arsenal. Oh, it's good play from Koscielny. Brave play, he knew he was going to get a hit.
Quarters of the way through and still level. Henry Lansbury shooting Arsenal into a very well-deserved first half lead. Robbie Keane coming off the bench to bring Tottenham level in the early minutes of the second half. Pavlyuchenko. Long for Keane, surrounded by Arsenal defenders though. And hasn't really been able to get into the game since he came on.
No, he hasn't. Kieran Gibbs has done well on him, stayed tight. Not let him get a run on the fullback.
Nasri. He's got round Norton. And keeps going. Oh, it was a good recovery by the defender, but Nasri's still there. And sets it up for Wilshere.
Well, on his left might have been a different story, mightn't it? Absolutely brilliant play, though, from Samir Nasri, who's been Arsenal's biggest threat in this second half. Is this the messenger? Borrowed pretty much. Still going on, isn't it?
It's all going on in the Arsenal half as Lennon finds himself in space. Oh, what a challenge by Koscielny. Perfect.
He's so quick, isn't he, Koscielny? Comes to the rescue of Kieran Gibbs, who lets Aaron Lennon go for the first time in this second half. Just tries to stand there and hold his ground, Gibbs, and it doesn't work. Top marks Koscielny.
Set pieces are often Arsenal's Achilles heel. Not this time. Lansbury heads away. 20 minutes to go. Well, they seem to have got the message through that Shamak is required. Oh, it's a poor ball by Norton straight to Lansbury. Vela. Nasri ahead of him. He's gone for the more difficult ball. Abure, nothing given. Lansbury let it run to Wilshere on his left foot. Great block. Spurs have a man down injured and player's been stopped.
Well, the referee's assistant was 5 yards away and he didn't deem it a foul, and there's no reason why Arsenal should stop in those circumstances. It's a great chance for them. Didn't look a lot in the challenge, that's for certain. He gets it on his left foot this time, Wilshere, but straight at Basong.
Nervy moments for Harry Redknapp, who has had a poor record in his long managerial career against Arsenal. He's faced them 32 times in all and been a winner only 3 times. Double change. Rosicki will be the first player to be replaced. And Shamak, the Moroccan international, coming on for him. Scored 3 goals already. And Andrei Arshavin waiting in the background. Nasri takes over as skipper.
Well, he hasn't been anywhere near as effective, Thomas Rosicky, as Samir Nasri has tonight. He's a lad that's settled in very quickly to his Arsenal career. Shamak.
Carlos Vela, the other player, now on the bench. Both teams with still one substitute up their sleeves. Should we need extra time?
That's a really positive move Well, Shavin's going to be up on that left-hand side, and Nasri moving inside to stay quite close to Shamak.
Gibbs. And Shavin gets his first touch. And a second straight away. Gibbs. Shamak in the centre. Oh, I think he just about brushed that one with his forehead. Aboué keeping it in play and winning the throw. And a decent throw too. Shamak. Wilshere. Shavin. Couldn't probably been on him, but they got away with it this time. Lennon. And again. Held back by Lansbury.
I just thought he might have tried a forward ball. Pavlyuchenko had peeled away. There was space to hit it into. Chose to cut back then before he was stopped.
Polka. That's a good ball if Pavlyuchenko can reach it, but just a little slow out the blocks.
Well, there'll be another debate after this match about Arsenal's goalkeeping situation, because that was a mistake from Fabianski. Arsenal fans, most of them expecting Arsene Wenger to bring in another goalkeeper in the summer. Hoping that he would, I think.
It's Fabianski's first game of this season. He's been on the bench for every other match so far. Kolka. Whoops. Conte will rescue that one. Sandro chasing with Aboué, brought it down skillfully. Well, he wouldn't like to pick a winner at the moment. Spurs have certainly restored a lot of pride in the second half and could yet go on and win this tie. Lansbury. Wilshere. Shamak ahead of him. Nasri very tight on that left touchline. And Sandro has got better and better as this game has gone on.
Yeah, I think he's got second wind actually. Looked for a time like he was flagging.
Spent a lot of money signing him. Lennon to Keane. Lansbury comes out with the ball.
Got to be so quick in possession, haven't you? Make up your mind before you get it out there tonight.
It's been an excellent cup tie.
It has, and it is really difficult to call. Well, as you say, much more even contest in this half.
Well, Shavin's layup finds the Nielsen. Nielsen again. Aboué gets it back. Simply. And well played Norton. Sandro. Foul by Shamak. And he's gone down, touching his leg again, the Brazilian.
I'll talk about having to hit the ground running. Sandro. So give him a good idea of what it's like in this country. Every single match.
Now Keane went down there, and the referee's given a free kick and a yellow card when the home fans were screaming for a red.
doing. Koscielny just moving his body across into the path of Keane, but would have been harsh to giving him a red. Kieran Gibbs would have collected it, I think. Well, this is shooting distance for sure.
Well, who will fancy this one? It looks as though Bentley has grabbed the prize.
Well, he's had a mixed afternoon, or evening, I should say, David Bentley. Had fought for the Arsenal goal where he didn't follow in with Lansbury.
Well, he's scored some spectacular goals, hasn't he, through the years? Can he produce another one here to turn this tie on its head? Suikoto also threatening with the left foot. It is Bentley on target, but that was about it. Lansbury. Gibbs. Danielson. Shear. Might have had a free kick in that move, Arsenal. Nasri. Marshavin. Look risky. Koscielny wins it back. Danielson to Nasri. Final 10 minutes here. Nasri for Arsenal, now wearing the captain's armband. Lansbury's cross is inaccurate.
Well, they've had plenty of the ball, haven't they, second half Arsenal, but they haven't been able to find that level that they did in the first, and much of the credit to that goes to Tottenham.
We've got more Carling Cup action for you tomorrow night here on Sky Sports HD2 from 7:30. Manchester United, the holders of this trophy, visit Scunthorpe United. Palacios. Suikoto taking a chance perhaps against Lansbury, but he did well. Sandro. Oh, that's a bad challenge. And it's another card.
Oh, a burst of energy, wasn't it, from Sandro at this late stage? Looks like he's a player with a big heart.
Lansbury twice in the referee's notebook now. One's for the goal and one's for that tackle. Is he going to try another effort on target here, David Bentley, or look for a teammate? We're about to find out. Oh! Keane turns it against the post.
Well, talk about a golden opportunity to win a football match. That was it. He's slicing off his shin, but he's right under the crossbar. Flag did go up.
Shamak. Poor touch from him. Keeps the impetus with Tottenham. Who won each of their last 6 ties in this competition here at White Hart Lane. Pavlyuchenko. Abue. The Russian kept at it and felt that he'd earned a free kick. Now it goes long for Shamak. The goalkeeper changed his mind. He was going to come out and try and clear himself. But he made the right decision in the end, but it is a corner.
Yeah, nice starting position that from Shamak. No appealing for offside, but Stephen Colker was keeping him on. This is the so-called foul that the Spurs fans weren't happy about, but I think Lee Probert got that one right.
Skimmed off the head of Kolka there. Gibbs giving away to Kolka. Shavin. Shamak. Palacios gives it away. Lansbury lines up another.
Well, he really would have been a hero then, wouldn't he? Throwing the foul in the back of the net.
Well, with such a packed schedule in the opening months of the season, I guess neither manager would have really wanted extra time, but we're 5 minutes away from that now. Wilshere, one back by Sandro. Both these teams involved in Champions League action as well as Premier League, of course. And so many changes by both managers tonight.
Been a fascinating cup tie, you have to say. This one in the last 5 minutes, whether anybody can summon up a little bit of inspiration to win it before we go into extra time.
Spurs have another London derby away to West Ham on Saturday, then their second tie in the Champions League at home to FC Twente. Arsenal's next game home to West Brom, then they have a trip to Partizan Belgrade in the Champions League. Only not inconsiderable matter of a match against Chelsea after that. Kolka, pass on. Norton with a strong header. Lennon. Palacios. Keane was on the run, but Palacios dwelling on the ball. That could be costly. Danielson slides it through. Nasri. Danielson way off target.
Well, he might just be making plans for that half an hour period of extra time as the clock ticks away.
Lansbury over the top for Shamak to chase. And he did his best. Nielsen or Shavin. That's a lovely ball for Shamak. Chance here. Needed to check back and look for Arshavin again.
Well, he was just on the angle, wasn't he, whereby he didn't fancy his chances of shooting and scoring. Shamak, so he cut back in search of support.
Lovely ball from Wilshere to Lansbury. It's that nervous stage in any cup tie where you know one mistake could finish you off. Wilshere, Shamak. It's a good ball for Danielson. Knocked out by the goalkeeper one-handed.
So nearly into Sami and Nasri's path that as well.
Keane at the other end. Lennon. Good well. still running. Useful cross as well, but Gibbs deals with it. The final minute at White Hart Lane. Or is it? Half an hour extra time on the schedule if needed. Nasri. Shavin with the back heel when really he should have been keeping possession. Norton. Sandro. Swept out, but not accurately enough to Lennon. We're about to find out how much stoppage time will be added. Arsenal don't want that. They want to try and win it in normal time, but we've moved now into the 3 minutes of stoppage.
Well, you can't see too many chances being created now, but here's one, thanks to the purpose of Abue getting in front of Lennon. And Laurent Chamak is the obvious target. He's a really good header of the ball.
In, and the keeper missed it completely. Oh, they've got away with that, Tottenham. For the moment. Gibbs. Away by Coker, but only as far as Abue, who's run down the right, started this attack. Danielson. Lansbury. Abue again. Shavin. Clever little ball that for Nasri. Gibbs. Patience as usual from Arsenal. Wilshere onto Abue. And still, oof, it's sliced off the defender Bassong straight to Pletikosa.
How well they moved that ball across the pitch there from the left to the right. Arsenal.
A roar of anticipation from the Spurs fans. Lennon. Shavin. In the last 60 seconds. Extra time looming. Danielson. Here's Nasri. It could be Arsenal's final attack. Gibbs gets away from Keane. Wilshere. This is Abue. On the ground for Lansbury. Now, who did that come off? That's an interesting one. Goal kick has been given.
Well, I think that's the easier decision for the linesman in front of the home fans, but he hasn't had a lot to do, Pletikosa, but he didn't do very well in trying to claim this cross. And Giroud at the back didn't know much about it, but his head back very nearly created a winner for Arsenal.
We'll have half an hour of extra time to decide a winner here at White Hart Lane and possibly a penalty shootout. Certainly, it was Arsenal's first half. They deservedly took the lead through Lansbury, but Keane coming off the bench scored that equaliser for Tottenham, and that's how it finished after 90 minutes. Ian Wright and Glenn Hoddle in the studio with Jeff. They will be giving us their views when you come back.
Well, it was pass from Arsenal in the first 45 minutes, but only once did they find the killer pass. Henry Lansbury converting. And they were made to pay the price in the second half. Was Robbie Keane offside? He looked it. But it countered. And Fabianski once again, the fall guy. One apiece, and so it is extra time. Ian Wright and Glenn Hoddle are watching with me. Glenn, what did Harry Redknapp do tactically to change things around?
Well, he's brought two more experienced players on for a start, Lennon and Keane, and I've been asking for Keane. I thought he'd come on at half-time. I'm glad Harry did that. But not only has Robbie got the goal, but he's a difference in a way that how Spurs have stopped the red tide coming at them. Because Robbie's experienced enough, he just dropped in there on Wiltshire and stopped Wiltshire playing for about half an hour. Yeah. And Arsenal have come back in the last 10 minutes. But he did a defensive job as well.
Absolutely right. To be honest, we should have won the game. The goalkeeper, that's the only shot he's had to save in the whole match. And to be fair, when we was looking at it, Gaffer, we saw it. Robbie Keane, he had all the other side of the goal to go for, and he went for the side where Fabianski's had a result, and his wrists were like paper, tissue.
Here comes extra time then, in the company of Alan Smith and Alan Parry.
Thanks, Jeff. Tottenham get it underway. 15-minute each-way period, and then a penalty shootout if we still haven't decided a winner at the end of it. Arsenal straight on the front foot. Nasri, he had a bit of a calf injury, and there was a question that he might have to come off. Both teams still have one substitute available. Here's Arshavin finding Nasri, who went down, and the referee has pointed to the spot. Dramatic start to extra time.
Well, they seem to definitely coming together with legs there. It's Bassong's challenge. He catches him. There's no doubt about that. He doesn't make too much of a fuss after it, Bassong. It's a little soft, I have to say. But what a chance for Arsenal seconds into this extra time period.
And it's Nasri himself who will take it. Cesc Fabregas, the main penalty taker, injured, of course, at the moment. And Nasri, a very capable replacement from the spot. Arsenal back in front.
And just when you want a cool head, Nasri provides it, and no real surprise because he's been excellent tonight. Nice and cool. It's a good run from Nasri. It was one of those challenges for Bassong that sometimes gets penalised, other times not. I'd say it was softer than the one in the first half.
Offside here, Pavlyuchenko.
Remember the shove by Yasu Okoto quite early on that wasn't given on Lansbury, I think it was.
French international Samir Nasri earned the penalty and converted it skillfully to set those Arsenal fans into raptures again. Can Arsenal hold on to their lead this time? Fabianski, a very relieved man after his part in the Tottenham equaliser. Nielsen, here's Wilshere. Another free kick to Arsenal here. Foul on Wilshere this time, the umpteenth it seems tonight.
Yeah, it's so difficult to stop. He's got wonderful balance, Jack Wilshere.
Nasri was troubled by that calf injury. He didn't show it, but that decisive run into the penalty box.
He was getting stretched out, wasn't he, in the period before extra time, that calf.
Lansbury. Taken away by Bassong, who was not cautioned for the challenge that led to the Arsenal penalty. Bentley. Denilson. Wilshere has had an excellent night. Still running. Norton. Rare opportunity for him at right back. And he's lasted the 90 minutes and into extra time as well.
Yeah, they were a very fit team, aren't they, Arsenal? Always have been under Wenger.
Well, there's a lovely ball for Shamak. Now he's gone down. And the referee has pointed to the spot again. Astonishing. In the first 5 minutes of extra time, 2 penalties.
Nothing if not decisive, Lupo, but did not hesitate. 2 really good runs behind the Spurs defence. The tug back was there, and Shamak went down. I think you have to say that's a penalty. Kolka's done really well tonight, and he gets caught there from a clever run from Shamak. And is this the game over with?
This is not an action replay. Samir Nasri, for real, stepping up to the spot again.
Same side, do you think? Mind game now.
Different side, same outcome. And Arsenal have surely earned a passage into the next round.
He's super cool, isn't he? Just jogging up to that ball and keeping his eye on the keeper to see which way he's going to go. So cool, he enjoyed those 2 pens. And why wouldn't he?
Might have taken him off because of that injury. Spurs are making a change now, their 3rd and final one. Sandro replaced by Nico Kranjčar.
It's been the old 1-2 from Arsenal, haven't they? They hit Spurs really without them waking up in this period of extra time. Not knowing what's hit them, the home team. It's been so clinical from Arsenal. 2 little through balls.
2 defensive errors, and Arsenal threatening to run riot now. Lansbury again. Surikoto gets it away. Pavlyuchenko, Giroud in the right place. And those 2 penalties really have knocked the heart out of Tottenham's resistance here. Goal kick.
There's a lot of those Arsenal fans who still remember that night. It was in January 2008, and they walked away from here 5-1 in that Carling Cup semi-final.
Shabin trying to get in behind Kolka. And stood strong this time. And the ironic cheers are because the whistle goes this time for a Tottenham free kick.
Well, you've got to give him credit, haven't you, Lee Probert? At the home of Tottenham, he pointed to the spot straight away. So shortly into this first period of extra time.
Nasri. Wilshere. One of the few passes he's got wrong tonight. Surikoto. That's Giroud for a Tottenham throw. Bentley is Keane. Franchise first involvement, sees him give the ball away. Foul then on Denilson. Ponders that mad 5 minutes in his own penalty box when Tottenham appear to have thrown this tie away.
Just very slow to get started, weren't they? And boy, haven't they been punished, Tottenham.
Abue. Arsenal did have an 8-year spell when they remained undefeated against Tottenham in 21 games. That ended spectacularly with that 5-1 hammering here in this competition a couple of years ago. But it looks as though they're back on track again against the old enemy. Lennon, back to Norton. Bentley, what a chance.
Well, he must have seen that coming all the way. What a glorious opportunity to get his team back in this. No reason, no excuse not to hit the target. It's a shocking miss from David Bentley, under no pressure whatsoever.
Well, he did score against Arsenal in that remarkable 4-4 Premier League draw a couple of years ago. He should have scored again then. Wilshere. Gibbs. Gibbs quick enough to win it back. It's a good ball as well for Arshavin. Shamak perfectly placed. Well, not quite sure whether that was meant to be a cross or a shot.
Well, any kind of a touch, I think he's trying to pick out Shamak. Any kind of a touch from the centre forward, and surely he's scored here. How it slipped through all three of those players, I do not know. Slightest of touches from the Tottenham player.
Well, so often you see these periods of extra time sort of fizzle away to nothing, with both teams resigned to a penalty shootout. Not tonight.
So often it's tight and neither team wanting to commit too many men forward. But it's been anything but that.
Well, perhaps he'll fancy the seat in the stand more often. I doubt it somehow.
No, he doesn't look happy up there, even though he's taken a 3-1 up.
He's finished above Spurs in the Premier League, by the way, in every one of his 13 seasons as Arsenal's manager, and hardly ever lost to them in a North London derby. Now Clichy ready to come on here for the unfortunate Kieran Gibbs, who's had a very good game again at left back.
Well, you hope that's nothing too serious. It doesn't look that way, but with that really long injury last season, didn't he? But such a talented player, Kieran Gibbs.
And quite some replacement. Now Clichy made his Arsenal debut in this competition 7 years ago now. Shamak fouls Palacios. Launches it and finds Pavlyuchenko offside. Well, the body language of some of the Tottenham players suggests that they don't really believe they can get back into this.
Well, they should do. There's still plenty of time. If David Bentley header would have gone in, it would have been a totally different story in terms of the mood within this stadium.
Well, football matches can change so quickly, but hinge on incidents and moments like that. Spurs will want to give their fans some reason to stay on here and not go for the early journey home. Not that early, mind you. Franchard has certainly got the ability to change things in Spurs' direction. Pavlyuchenko. Suikota with the cross. Bentley. On the line, but out of play for Pranchard. Well, It's a shame that the two Tottenham Academy products, Jake Livermore, who was substituted at half-time, and Stephen Colker, who made that mistake to concede that second penalty, will have bad memories in a way of this night, but for two young men, it's been quite an occasion.
It's been one not to forget, and a reminder of what's required to shine at this level, to survive, because Arsenal do set a really high bar.
And Shavin finally hauled down by Kyle Norton. And quickly taken back to Arshavin. Great finish. And even a threat that Arsenal could get revenge for that 5-1 hammering a couple of years ago.
Well, it's a great example of one player being alive and the other not, walking away with his head down and his back to goal, and that player was Kyle Norton. Arshavin calls for it and he gets the little ball. After that, it's all about the power of the Russian on his left foot, which rarely lets him down. They'd lost the match even before this fourth goal went in, which is unforgivable because plenty of football to be played.
4 goals in his last 6 appearances this season. Quite a record for Andrei Arshavin. And now I suspect we'll see a lot of Tottenham fans make for the exits. And off they go. Nobody moving at the Arsenal end. Walker's header on, and almost turned in by Keane. It was a good save by Fabianski from that range.
That's a great example of what can happen, isn't it, if you don't give up. And even now, Spurs shouldn't.
But Sami Nasri's 2 penalties in quick succession at the start of the first period of extra time have swayed the game in Arsenal's favour. It could have been a little lifeline there.
Well, it's a great play on the line. That's Sami Nasri just doing his job. Not over, what we can safely say.
Well, they're celebrating, and you can understand that, even though there is still 15 minutes to play. Shavin getting the 3rd Arsenal goal, of course, in that first period of extra time.
I'm sure he was settling down for this extra time, expecting it to be tight. Arsene Wenger, even he couldn't have envisaged the wham-bam, the 1-2 of penalties. They had brighter minds coming into this extra time period, Arsenal. And by the time Spurs woke up, it was almost too late.
Come on, he's saying. You've got your professionalism, you've got your pride. But all around White Hart Lane, there are empty blue seats.
Well, on your own patch, you just don't like to see it against your fiercest rivals. The last thing you want to experience if you're a player, if you're a manager, and if you're a supporter.
Lennon wins it back off Clichy. That's the goal kick. Not many left in the white of Tottenham. Plenty in the red of Arsenal. Around 4,000. And not many have gone home early. Those who did will have missed the action, won't they?
Nice to see so many away fans in the way that used to be the case. Adds to or makes for a great atmosphere, doesn't it?
Don't tell them it's only the Carling Cup. And don't tell them either.
Well, still plenty for Tottenham fans to be excited about this season. FC20 here. next midweek in the Champions League. West Ham on Saturday, a trip to Upton Park, which won't be easy, but the challenges keep coming.
Koscielny, who I remember made one terrific tackle, didn't he, at a stage in the game when Tottenham was still very much in it. Giroud has successfully come through his first start for 16 months. There he is again. Arshavin, a moment of magic. And he looks for Shamak in the box this time. Polka. Here's Nasri looking for a hat-trick. He's never scored one for Arsenal.
Definitely not a hat-trick of pens.
Well, would be something, wouldn't it? Ramsbury set the Gunners on their way. Shaw slides in to win it back for Spurs. And again. Muscled out of it by Wilshere.
They can just make life unbearable now, Arsenal, the way they keep the ball and keep moving it. It's torture for the home team. Just want to go home, don't they?
And the taunts from the Arsenal fans certainly not helping. Well, I wish we'd started counting. It's another of those moves again. Must be getting near 20 now. I think we would have lost count had we started, and now they've lost the ball anyway. Surikato hemmed in here by Shamak. Pavlyuchenko will chase with Giroud. And hustled him into the error. Clears the corner, and then he pulled off a little bit of cramp, I think.
I'm not sure what David Bentley was trying from that corner.
Back in by Surikato, Holker's head out. Now Wilshere to Danielson. Spurs have got a man down injured. Well, it was a fixture in many ways. I guess Harry Redknapp could have done without. And it's not turned out to be a very good night for him.
Well, he's always valued this competition, hasn't he? Harry Redknapp had a good record in it.
But coming in a season when they've got to cope with Champions League and Premier League, it has been a difficult one.
It has. They've got to balance it up with the other challenges that you are facing. It's something that Arsene Wenger has had to contend with over the last 10 years or more. Has got stick for some of the sides that he's selected, some of the really young teams, and got out of the competition, some fans think cheaply. Interesting to see what kind of teams he does play in future rounds, or the next round at least.
He's never actually won the trophy. He's reached 4 semi-finals and 1 final in his time as Arsenal's manager. An amazing contrast around White Hart Lane now. Handfuls of Tottenham fans around the stadium, and everyone still hemmed in at the Arsenal end.
It was so tight in that second half. It was so even, wasn't it, more than anything else? And then for it to be so one-sided in extra time, a lack of concentration really doing for Tottenham.
There's Wilshere, another outstanding performance from him. Clichy to Koscielny. Arshavin gets away from the challenge. A lovely ball swept out to Lansbury on the right. And here comes Arshavin again. Well, fair play to the remaining Tottenham fans. At least they're making a bit of a noise to get their own back at the Arsenal supporters.
Well, certainly cheer the Arsenal players and staff up after that. What they would see as dropped 2 points at Sunderland at the weekend. To do wonders for the morale in the camp.
Arsenal keep their unbeaten record going. 7 matches now, and they've along the way scored 24 goals. Wilshere is keen for Tottenham, who breathed new life back into this match with his equaliser early in the second half. But that was extinguished, I'm afraid, from Tottenham's point of view, in the space of a few minutes of extra time. It's become a contest between the fans rather than the players at the moment.
You have to enjoy it. If you're an Arsenal player, I've come here and won a derby, and it's a fantastic experience. So those Arsenal players will be lapping it up afterwards.
Suikoto. And they get at least 1 goal back. Not that it will make any difference now. Lennon. There's Palacios. Well, Arsene Wenger knows that his squad is impressively deep. I suppose Harry Redknapp has learned the lesson that the players he picks week in, week out have proved their point in their absence, because those who have stepped up to the plate have not done so impressively enough. I hope that's not being too unkind, but the scoreline does tell the story.
No, I mean, there was a big difference before kick-off, wasn't there, with the debutees for Spurs. Arsenal didn't have any really. Henry Lansbury the closest to one, with more experience in the team.
Pavlyuchenko to Kranjčar. Arshavin stabs it away. Arsenal on their way to their biggest victory on the ground of their fierce rivals for many, many years. Suikoto. Pavlyuchenko with a nudge there, but he's got away with it. Can he finish?
There's no lack of effort there for Pavlyuchenko. Nice bit of strength at the beginning. And he's not giving up.
Shot. Norton. Passing on to Asuikoto. Forward for Keane. Great running by him. You can see what he was trying to do.
Typical Robbie Keane. Trying something inventive, but it's all too little and too late now by the looks of it.
Done by Clichy. Oh, what a run. He's still going. Good little ball as well for Nasri. Nasri surely didn't expect him to keep on running. Pluses for the night from Arsenal's point of view, apart from the victory, of course, Alan?
Well, I think the big one is the way Jack Wilshere has dominated the game. I know it's not a surprise in many ways because he's played in nearly all the games so far, hasn't he, in the Premier League, but the way he's developing into a top-class player is just wonderful to see. Johan Djourou back, Kieran Gibbs putting in a really good performance at left-back before he got injured. Henry Lansbury getting on the score sheet. Plenty of pluses for Arsenal Football Club. And the way they played in that first half was absolutely exquisite.
What about that ball as well from Wilshere out to Lansbury? Shavin. And from Spurs' point of view, is it all negatives or any positives?
Well, it's always a big negative when you lose, and you lose by this scoreline to your local rivals, but they've been able to blood one or two new boys who haven't disgraced themselves, Jake Livermore and Stephen Colker in particular. I think Sandro's going to be a good player for them. He looks like a lad with a big heart who will only get better as he gets used to the Premier League and what's required in England. But they've got what you would arguably say is a bigger challenge waiting for them this time next week in the Champions League.
Tottenham had a mad 5 minutes at the start of extra time and quite literally paid the penalty. They gave away 2 spot kicks. Samir Nasri stepped up and confidently stroked both of them home. Then a great finish by Andrei Arshavin completed a miserable night for Tottenham Hotspur, who have lost again.
Yes, after 90 minutes it was in the balance. After 95 minutes it was, to all intents and purposes, all over, and it's the Arsenal fans who are celebrating in the lair of their arch enemy. Samir Nasri with a couple of goals and a goal line appearance as well. He's had a terrific night, hasn't he? And it means plenty to the players and their fans, doesn't it? A young Arsenal team, Henry Lansbury getting the opening goal, and then 2 penalties from Samir Nasri. Andrei Arshavin finishing it all off. We're not finished, though, on Sky Sports. Plenty of football to come, including on Sky Sports 1 at 10:30, our tribute to the Tottenham legend Bobby Smith, who died at the weekend. You can see him along with fellow double winners Terry Dyson and Cliff Jones in conversation. That's on Sky Sports 1 at 10:30. Real Madrid against Espanyol is live right now. Sky Sports HD3 into the second half there. And tomorrow, let's hope it's as entertaining as this was at Glanford Park. Scunthorpe against Manchester United, 7:30 Sky Sports HD2. And remember, you can watch Sky Sports absolutely anywhere. Go to skysports.com/anywhere for all the details. It was Arsenal's biggest win here for 32 years. We'll get the views of Glenn Hoddle and Ian Wright when we come back in a couple of minutes. They couldn't do it in 90 minutes, could they? But no wonder they're all smiles now. Arsene Wenger, remember, has never won the Carling Cup. He's still in it this time round. They're into round 4. Well, it was billed as a bit of a revenge mission, wasn't it, for Arsenal, returning to the ground where they lost 5-1 3 years ago in the Carling Cup. And my word, revenge was sweet, despite Robbie Keane's equalising goal and having to go to extra time. Arsenal did just that. They went the extra yard. 2 Sami Nasri penalties and a goal from Andrei Arshavin, and Arsenal are through to round 4.
Boys, congratulations. Jack, I don't know if you knew this, you probably didn't. This is Arsenal's biggest win here in over 30 years. What does it mean to you to be a part of that victory?
Well, I think it means a whole lot amount, and you can see by the fans, their reaction and that, and we're just happy to get on and see we get next round and we hopefully can push on.
Did it take a lot of maturity from you in the first half because you kept getting kicked and getting up and getting up? Was it hard for you to take that and try and concentrate on your passing football?
No, I think that's just part of the game and that's what you expect when you play for Arsenal. And I think the lads dealt with it well and we just showed in the end and we're fit and we're ready.
Samir, were you close to coming off just before extra time? It looked like you might have had a calf problem.
No, a calf problem. It was a little bit of problem to my hamstring. Then I talked with the physio and I said I'm ready to finish the game, and I scored 2 goals and the team won, so it's the most important.
Did they want to take you off though? Was that ever considered?
No, they thought about it, and then we talked together and we find a good compromise.
Was it difficult for you to take a penalty, having won the penalty?
Yeah, I had the same problem against Sunderland. I provoked the fault and then I didn't take the penalty. But after I talked with the boss and I said next time I will take the penalty, and I score.
And how difficult was it to score 2 in 4 minutes?
No, it's not difficult. You just need to be focused and watch the goalkeeper and choose one angle.
Can you sum up what it means to you as an Arsenal man to come and win here at White Hart Lane?
It's really important. It's a derby. Last year we lost after 10 years, I think. So it was important for us to respond against Tottenham, and we did it, and great.
Arsenal fans are very excited about Jack Wilshere, so are England fans as well. What's it like playing alongside him, and does his maturity impress you?
Yeah, I think he's a really good player. I think last year when he went to Bolton, helped him because he played a lot of games with Bolton, and now he's ready to play and to be a good player for Arsenal. I'm really happy, and I think England need a player like him because they don't have like a young player with a great generation, and Jack is a wonderful prospect for the future.
Jack, a final thought from you. Arsenal fans are desperate for a trophy. Would it be special if it were to be the Carling Cup this year, maybe?
Yeah, I think so, and about it, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Last year we fell short, and the last 2 years we fell short, so hopefully we can just concentrate on each game as it comes and then see if we can win it.
Well, listen, you were very close to being the Carling man of the match today, but 2 penalties from Samir took the bottle away. Would you do the honours for us? Cheers, boys.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jack Wilshere's still too young to drink, I think, anyway, isn't he? Glenn and Ian are here with me. Glenn, did Spurs play the price for a bit of naivety in extra time?
I think so. They switched off. Sometimes you get to that 90th minute and the game ends and you're trying to rally lads round. I just think maybe that the 2 lads, the centre half and the right back, that 4 goals have come from that area of the pitch. They did excellent. They did really well. And a great experience for them, and Harry will see that. But the goals, every goal that Arsenal scored has come in that inside left position. And as the game, as you get tired as a youngster, you're not used to the concentration levels. It was always going to be a slight problem when we went into extra time, and I felt they paid the price in the end.
Any question, Ian, about the validity of the penalties? Do you think they were both penalties?
I don't think so. Not in this day and age. You touch players in that way, they're going to get you're going to get those decisions. And Arsenal to be fair to them, they kept passing it all the time. Even when it got a bit tighter, when Robbie Keane came on, it got tighter. But like they make these little runs in there like that all the time, and he's pulled his shoulder.
There's not much contact.
It's not much, but like I say, it's just the other side of it. It's almost round by his ribs, but you're going to get that. You're going to get that in
You
it.
can't take that risk as a defender. If you put your hands across on a shirt or on a body, you're going to pay the price if the referee sees it.
And then just, 4 minutes later, it's the young boy Corker, isn't he? Guilty of exactly the same thing, really.
Well, yeah, very much so. As I said, in that inside left area again, they just got ball watching, and he sneaked off the back again. He's just a slight tug, but it's enough for an experienced player, or more experienced player, to go down and make it into a penalty.
It's great with Arsenal because they don't stop playing how they play. Even though, like I say, Tottenham got tighter, they still try to do the little one-touch stuff so as it makes openings. And when people are tired and you slip balls in there, you get people like Shamak running on it. It was a great run, and I think it was a definite pen.
And Sami Nasri converted them both. Just capped what was a terrific performance from him, Ian.
Well, like I said, he was in that little gap behind there all the time, picking up the ball, keeping things going for Arsenal. But Jack Wilshere was brilliant as well. But Sami Nasri just, like I say, just edged it. He was really good in that little hole.
And then the fourth goal, just the icing on the cake, really, as far as Arsenal concerned, Glenn. And Tottenham caught asleep, really.
Same area of the pitch again we're talking about. They just go asleep. This is a young kid just switching off. He's never played at this level. And both of them just switched off there, no talking behind. And I think that was Spurs' problem, to be honest. They were sliding that ball around. And every time the ball's changing angle, over a period of time, if you go to sleep, they'll catch you out. And that's what they did.
Does the side that Arsene Wenger played this evening, Ian, suggest to you that he's got his mind set on winning the Carling Cup this season? Or was it purely because it was Tottenham at White Hart Lane?
No, I don't think so. I think he put out... That was a very good mixture of good youngsters gaining more experience and some really experienced players. I think that he's got to take this competition seriously. You want to win things. It's a springboard to other things. And if he wins this and then you can kick on from there, get everybody happy about winning stuff again. Winning's a habit. You get in the habit. You want to keep doing it.
And this trophy comes early in the season, so it is a springboard. If it comes at the end of the season, you can't wait. You can get beat in the last minute, and you don't win anything again. But if you do win the Carling Cup, it comes earlier in the season. The momentum comes, and then winning breeds winning, and it's a confidence matter. So it is a big cut for Arsenal, I think, to go 5 years, to have a team like Arsenal's had for 5 years and not win anything. Is incredible, really, because they are a wonderful team to watch. But they've now got to turn it into effective football, and if they win the Carling Cup, that's a start.
Yep.
And Spurs chasing shadows in the first half, Glenn. How much of that was down to the fact they had so many inexperienced players in there, so many debutants?
For me, they were a side that there was so many young players in there playing in their debut or their first games, really. First or second games, and they were too worried about how they were going to play. They didn't go out there with a team ethic and say, look, we are going to have to close Arsenal down together and hunt them together. They were so individual in the way and they were thinking about, what am I going to do when I get the ball? They didn't really work Arsenal. Arsenal were terrific, don't get me wrong, but Spurs, once you had a couple of experienced players come on, they tightened up with Robbie Keane slipping back onto Wilshere, then they won the ball, and the game was evenly balanced at that period of time.
That was the first goal. It's a great cross. And, you've got Bentley and Asir Cotter there, and they've kind of both stopped, hoping that the ball's not going to get to the back post. And Lansbury's taken a chance. To be fair, Lansbury's done well there because he was having a bit of a mare, if I'm going to be totally honest. Up to that point, I'm quite pleased that he saw the game through. But it was fantastic play, Arsenal, all evening. They continuously want the ball, even when people are on them, so as they keep that confidence going, and then they pop it off, one touch, and then they're in.
But were you a bit concerned, though, Ian, that despite all that possession, all the lovely football we saw, it was one goal at half-time?
Well, yeah, it was worrying, and to be honest, I thought the Kieran Gibbs offside wasn't offside, so maybe could have gone in two, but you're always going to be worried if you're only 1-0 up going in at half-time, especially in the derby, and you know that Tottenham are going to come out a lot stronger than they went in. So I thought the boys done fantastic tonight. Fantastic.
And, of course, in the second half, Harry changed it. You've been urging him to bring Robbie Keane on, Glenn, and he did.
He's offside here, though. It's a lovely little tuck inside ball from Norton, the young kid. And Robbie's gone the strange side. If you look at it from here, look, it's a lovely little just disguised ball. Played it in, he's just offside, but look where the keeper's position is. And Robbie goes that side. I was amazed to see him go that side. But the keeper really, Ian, you're not happy with the keeper.
To be honest, he's got to say that it's very, very weak wrists in that respect. And because if he sees that, once the goalie sees that again, he'll see that he didn't have his goal covered properly. Robbie Keane could have went the other side. He wouldn't even have been able to dive. The mere fact that he gave him a chance and his hands were so weak, I'm really sorry. But, well, I've always said about the Arsenal goalies, I don't fancy any of them. I don't fancy any
That's
of
the
them.
problem for Arsenal, I feel. I really do feel if they're going to win the Premiership or they're going to go and win the Champions League, and that's what they're looking at, you've got to have a goalkeeper that's going to save your matches, not give games away. And I think over a course of a long season, that is a real concern. And they nearly got Schwarzer, but I would think Arsenal will be looking, or his chief scout will be out there looking right across Europe for a goalkeeper.
I mentioned it was the biggest Arsenal win here for 32 years. Glenn, you were playing in that game 32 years ago, but
Thanks very much.
I think you were only half fit at the time. I'd imagine, anyway.
Thanks a lot. I'm only 15.
Let's go and hear from Arsene Wenger, shall we? Here he's with Andy.
Arsene, were you surprised to win it in that manner with 2 early penalties in extra time?
Well, I believe that we deserve to win the game, but you can never predict for what the difference will be. We kept going, and we were tested mentally as well because we played some outstanding football today. But have as well shown that we have grown, and we are consistent. It's for us important that to keep feet on the ground and focus as we can do.
Was there a point where you thought you might lose the game based on the way Tottenham played their way into the match through the second half?
Yes, they came back strong into the game, and at 1-1 we had some moments where we were a little bit on the ropes, but after we took over again and we finished stronger.
What conversations were had between you and Sami Nasri about penalty taking between the Sunderland game and tonight?
Well, he had a superstition to think that when a penalty is made on you, not to take it, and I tried to prove him that that's only based on fear.
So that's gone now?
It's gone tonight because he took the penalties, and he realizes now that it was a bad superstition.
Does it take a lot of mental strength to be able to score 2 in the space of 4 minutes with, the mind games of which way you're going to go?
It does, because the keeper can influence you, but it's always a little bit a mind game.
Were you almost going to take him off before extra time?
Yes, because I got the messages that he was injured and on his hamstring at the moment. We are short. We cannot afford to lose more players.
What made you keep him on?
Suddenly, we had as well Henry Lansbury, who has not played for a long time, who had cramps, and so we decided to keep him a little bit longer on, and then he was okay again.
Was your viewpoint from the stands a good one to watch the football you played, particularly in the first half?
Yes, it was very interesting to see from that such a height, and I felt that we dominated completely game. We lacked sometimes a little bit the final sprint in the final third, but overall we had a good collective domination.
Talk to me about Jack Wilshere. If we learned anything about him today, was it his ability to get kicked a few times and get up and show maturity in those kind of situations?
Yes, we know that he's an outstanding football player, and but he can get tackles, he can give tackles, he's tough. It's again, I believe, he has an outstanding future. Just needs to keep well, humble, and enjoy his game.
You told me in pre-season that you thought Jack would have a big role to play this season. Is he a little bit ahead of where you thought he might be?
He's much ahead. But I believe as well that talent is play early, all the big players play early at the age of 18. They start to play at the top level, and he can handle it. So I believe if he can handle it mentally, what happens to him, there is no problem. He will be a great player.
And a final thought, do you need to get a new mobile phone provider? You struggled with your phone signal today, didn't you?
Yes, I did. But I think it was enjoyable to watch, and we have a good spirit, a good attitude, and that was pleasant to see.
Thanks, Arsene. Well done.
Thank you.
And high praise as well for Jack Wilshere there. And Ian Wright, when you're watching Jack, do you feel you're watching an England player for years in the future?
Oh, without a doubt. His touch is so assured. He's got appreciation for players. He can pop off the little pass. He can do the long pass. And like he said, he can tackle. He'll get mixed in. And, he'll accept the ball in any situation. And, like I said, he's got unbelievable future ahead of him. He's just a fantastic player. I'm delighted to see him play. I was gutted to see him go to Bolton because I think if he could play in the Premiership for Bolton, why not for Arsenal? I think we stand him in good stead.
Also, in the size of him, he's lucky he's at Arsenal, because at some clubs you wouldn't. The way they play, it doesn't matter about size if you play for Arsenal.
Yeah.
But at some clubs, it would make a big difference to the lad.
Yeah.
But I liked him today. I think he showed real maturity in the sense of coming behind the ball. First half, he was always available, and then suddenly he just broke for the goal. For the opening goal, he just broke forward at probably the only time he broke forward, and then he affected the game and with the cross that he did. That's the sign of a player that understands the game and quality, and I think he's going to get better and better.
He's one of those. He'll be able to take the game by the scruff of the neck. He's got that kind of ability.
Let's hear from Harry Redknapp, shall we? He's with Andy.
Harry, would I be right to think you don't leave here feeling like you've been outplayed today?
Well, they're a good side. They play well, but I think we got got to extra time. I feared the worst. Really, I looked at. I had so many players who probably hadn't played at this level before. The young centre half was full of cramp. Sandro did a great job. I thought he worked hard in midfield. He had cramp and he felt his hamstring a bit. There was 3 or 4 of them really who were going to struggle in extra time. And extra time was the last thing we needed, and we'd used our subs, and there was no one else to change anyway. So I know it would be difficult. What we didn't want to do was concede that goal in the first minute of extra time, and then really it was difficult for us.
It's funny though, because you swung the pendulum back your way through that second half, didn't you? Does that make it even more galling to have lost the game?
No, not really. No, I mean it was a chance to look at some of the lads tonight, and it was a great experience for him. Young Stephen Corker at centre half did a good job. And I thought he'd learn a lot from tonight's game. It was a great experience for him. So it's the first time Sandro's played. David Bentley hasn't played. That was his first game back. There's a few of them have hardly played any games. And I just felt, the extra time was probably one step too far for them.
Can your younger players arguably learn more in a defeat than a victory sometimes?
I think they can just learn from playing out here tonight at White Hart Lane in front of a big crowd in a real game, if you like, rather than playing reserve team football. So it's a good experience for him. Say for Sandro, his first game in England as well. Pace of the game was different for him, and a few of them, as I say, hadn't had many games, and they needed to play. And overall, disappointing in the end to get beat in extra time, but there were some positives as well.
Any complaints with the actual penalty decisions?
I thought the first one was harsh. Harry fell over when, really that was. I think he's dived for the first penalty. The second penalty was a blatant penalty. He's pulled him.
And I know nobody in football likes losing football games, but is a bit of perspective important tonight with what's going on with your season? You've got bigger priorities than this, haven't you?
Well, we both made lots of changes tonight. You can't keep playing. The left backs end up having extra time tonight, which I could have done without for him because he's been playing regularly. So. It was a case really. You've got to prioritise whatever way you look at it. There's no good people saying, well, you've got to keep. They've done it. Arsenal. He's made 8 or 9 changes tonight. Arsene Wenger as well. So, but the players, he still had a very strong side out, and they were good, and they passed the ball well, and their movement is excellent. And it was a good lesson for 1 or 2 of our players who haven't. As I say, it's a new experience for them. So they'll learn a lot from tonight's game.
Thanks, Harry.
Thank you.
Yes, some positives for Harry Redknapp there, who has bigger fish to fry. Elsewhere in the Carling Cup, Birmingham City threw 3 first-half goals to them against the MK Dons. Alexander Hleben, Nikola Zigic both scoring their first Birmingham goals. Great win for Brentford. After extra time and penalties they've gone through on that penalty shootout, poor old Jermaine Beckford and Phil Jagielka were those to miss for Everton. Burnley have beaten Bolton, no happy return to Turf Moor for Owen Coyle. Ipswich have won at Millwall by 2-1. Peterborough won, Swansea 3. A Scott Sinclair hat-trick for Swansea, who's making quite a name for himself since his move from Chelsea. Portsmouth 1, Leicester 2. Stoke have beaten Fulham by 2-0. Kenwyn Jones getting the second-half goal there for Stoke. Danny Higginbottom having scored the first. Relief for West Ham. They won 2-1 at Sunderland. Victor Obinna, their Nigerian forward, has got the winning goal in the second half. And Wolves were taken all the way by League One Notts County before they came through after extra time by 4-2. Just time to say thanks very much indeed to my guests this evening, Glenn Hoddle and Ian Wright. Ian, Glenn will escort you from the stadium, I think, for safety's sake. Absolutely. And we're all heading north because we have more Carling Cup action coming up for you tomorrow. Scunthorpe United of the Championship hope to cause a real upset by toppling Manchester United. You can see it at 7:30 on Sky Sports HD 2 and 2. So the story of the evening here, Spurs pay the penalty as 3 years on, Arsenal take their Carling Cup revenge. Good night.
Right, lads, it's the big match today. Play the game, not the occasion. I want fast, free-flowing, attacking football.